In today's video, I'm going to be taking my artistic skills to the next level by building 4 amazing pieces of Ninjago artwork, all using Lego bricks. And once they're all complete, I'm going to put on an art show at a Lego store.
What on earth is this?
And hopefully will impress the harsh critics.
They're literally pieces of plastic.
When it comes to Lego art, there's a lot of different angles you can look at it, and there's so many different styles and ways you can build Lego art. For today's video, I'm going to take 4 drastically different approaches to making Lego art. Starting with this first one, Borg Tower. Now obviously, since I'm making art from Ninjago, it's got to be very distinct and recognizable. And one of the most recognizable buildings from all of Ninjago is Borg Tower. This is a huge skyscraper that appears in many different seasons from Ninjago, built by Cyrus Borg, the inventor. For my reference photo, I used this piece of artwork that my sister drew for me a couple years ago of Ninjago City. And smack dab in the middle, we have a perfect outline of what Borg Tower needs to look like. This is a very jagged and interesting shaped building. So the layout of this piece of artwork is going to be 3 16 by 16 base plates. I started by using a lot of light gray slopes. Since we're building out of Lego bricks, I wanted this one to be a little bit 3D. In the center of this build, I stacked up a lot of these transparent blue tiles as windows. And I used many wing elements to make the jagged shape of this tower. For detailing, I used vent pieces, ingots, and on the very bottom we have some small spotlights to shine onto the building. At the very top of that building, we kind of have that rectangular oval shape with the Borg hologram in the middle. For this, I use a transparent blue disc piece. For the background, I added a layer of white and then different shades going from orange to light yellow in strips along it to give an artsy sunset feel to this picture. Now that this Borg tower is complete, we can put it on its stand and display it. The shape of this Borg tower is very unique and very iconic, and I'm very happy with how I captured the whole silhouette and frame of this building. I like the small details I was able to add on, like the windows and the clouds, and the background makes Borg tower stand out all the more. Now it's time to move on to the second masterpiece. For every season of Ninjago comes a new poster. And one of my favorite posters is the one from Seabound. And I want to recreate this out of my Lego as a 3D piece of artwork. It's also one of the more challenging ones. One half of it is right side up, and the other half of the poster is upside down. So that will make this build a bit of a challenge. I started with the half that is above the water and right side up. The background is blue, and I built a miniature skyline of Ninjago City. Above that, I placed some clouds, and jutting out of the frame is the water, where I placed Nia in an epic pose, ready to go full water power on the villains. I also made transparent poles coming up out of the water, where I placed Cole and Kai. Now on the flip side of this poster, I had to make everything upside down. For the water, I used transparent purple pieces, and the background is dark blue. I added some bubbles, and as you'll notice, I made the city of Merlopia in the background. It almost looks as good as my city of Merlopia build from a couple years ago. Then I placed down Prince Kalmar with his red trident, and 2 other Moray guards riding brick-built manatees. Now we can place this poster on its stand beside the Borg Tower one, and I think it stands up pretty well beside it. I love how it captures the essence of the original poster. Submerged beneath the water, it's dark and murky, but when you go above the water, the sky is blue and it's bright. One of my favorite parts is Nia getting ready to do spinjitzu. I also love the skyline of Ninjago City in the background, and the other 2 ninja jumping forward add some action to this poster. Here's a side-by-side of my Lego poster versus the actual poster, and I think I did a pretty good job. There are obviously some things that restrict you when building with Lego bricks, but for the most part, I think I captured Seabound's poster pretty well, and the black frame around it really finishes it off nicely. And without further ado, let's move on to the third piece of artwork. Master Wu is one of the most iconic Ninjago characters of all time, and it's time to make Master Wu a masterful piece of artwork. I started by finding a picture of Master Wu, then I cropped it to just fit his face, and found this tool on the internet that turns a photo into a Lego pixelized image. Then I came to the tedious process of placing plates down on this 48 by 48 base plate. It took quite a while, and I got some pretty sick time lapses of me cooking. Once it was complete, we had an image of Master Wu himself, built out of small Lego bricks. There was even some olive green and light gray pieces added to the beard, but it was just a little bit simple. It was just studs covering the whole thing, which, don't get me wrong, looks really nice. but I think we need to add another layer of coolness to this build. So I got the most obscure, random, and wild pieces out of my Lego bricks. Once I had all the different piles of crazy pieces, I started covering this build with these pieces. The only requirement was they had to fit the same color as the piece that they were going on top of. When you look closely, it looks chaotic, but from a ways away, this truly looks amazing. We can set it on its stand, and Master Wu is looking quite fine on display here. If you look closely, you can see so many different unique elements. I have cloud pieces, bananas, legs, teacups, teapots, a crab, leaf elements, more leaf elements, a croissant, a rabbit, ice cream, spiders, gears, and you can find Master Wu's original Lego head on this build too. There's even a Lego frog on this head. The extra layer of bricks makes this build come alive in a new and unique way. It looks very beautiful, even though it is so confusing and chaotic. The further away you get, the more it comes together, and you're able to see Sensei Wu in his full glory. I'm truly impressed with how this build turned out, and it'd be fun to do portrait photos like this for other characters from Ninjago. But now it's time to move on to the fourth and final piece of artwork we have in this video. Now, Lego has come out with their own series of art sets. There's some Star Wars art that they have, Marvel art. They literally just use these small dots to create these amazing pieces of artwork. And I want to make one of these for Ninjago, but it has to be true art. So we have to start from the ground up. I asked my sister, who's an amazing artist and has appeared on my channel a few times, coloring and drawing amazing pieces of artwork for me. Now I wanted her to etch out a picture of Cole, Kai, Jay, and Zane, the four original ninjas standing against a white background with the words Ninjago above it. And she did a really good job designing this image. Once that was complete, I uploaded the picture to the software that makes it into Lego Pixels. Then it was a bit of a tedious process figuring out how many of these 1x1 Lego dots I needed and in what colors. I did some calculations, went on to Lego.com and started ordering all these parts. I ended up spending about $150. Once they came in the mail, the package opened up and I was truly able to see just how many dots there were. This 72 by 72 base plate was so big, I had to make a giant frame using a lot of Technic pieces. I also made a black frame going along the outside. This is going to be a 72 by 72 base plate. We have 5,184 studs to cover with more studs. This was going to be a challenge, but thankfully I was able to get some help from friends, and as a team we were able to complete this build in a pretty short amount of time. It was very satisfying making these small sections of this masterpiece by placing down tons of little dots in a lot of different colors. But once it all came together, it made a wonderfully smooth and sleek representation of the image that my sister had colored. Now I can place it on its stand and show it off in all of its glory. This is truly a gigantic piece of artwork. A minifigure is extremely small compared to it. I love how smooth and sleek this piece of artwork is. And the mosaic effect looks spectacular. All four ninjas posing there with the words Ninjago above the top looks honestly just so great. I'm very happy with how this picture turned out. And big thanks to my sister for helping me design it. Well, now that all four of these pieces of artwork are done, it's time to head down to the Lego store, set up our artwork show, and see what the critics have to say.
What on earth is this?
What did you think of the art?
I give it a 10.
Never in my days of travel, I've ever seen something as beautiful.
If you could keep and smash one of these,
I think I would probably keep this one. Oh, I wish I could go over here like that someday.
I'm smashing this one. No. Which one of these art pieces is your favorite?
I think it's that one. One of my favorite ones is the little Seabound one. I think it's really cool.
Brick Legend's sister lore drop. So which one of these pieces of artwork is your favorite?
They're literally pieces of plastic.
Well, yeah.
Whoa!
So if you could hang one of these pieces of artwork up on your wall, which one would it be?
This one feels nice. I would pick this one.
How much money would you pay for it?
A solid $80.
This is art! I poured
You know,
blood,
I'll give you
sweat.
100.
Probably smash that one. It's a little boring.
No offense taken. This one wins. Or this one wins. Oh, you like that one too. If you could hang one of these amazing portraits up in your bathroom, which one would you hang up?
I don't want one in my bathroom.
In your house?
I don't have a house.
Would you hang one of these up on your wall?
Yes, that one.
Everyone likes the Master Wu. Clearly, the Master Wu image is the best. But if you want, you can go to the link in the description and vote for yourself which one of these images you think is the best. Big thanks to Wyoming Bricks for letting me use their Lego store to host this art show. Wyoming Brickworks is actually the only Lego store in all of Wyoming. Wyoming Brickworks also has an online store on Bricklink if you want to check it out in the description. And if you want to come visit the actual store itself, I'm going to have my Ninja piece of artwork on display there for the next couple months. So come and visit and see my artwork in person. And if you guys want to build some of this artwork yourself, you can go to the link in the description and pick up your very own digital copies of these instructions. Without further ado, thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in my next Brick Legends video. Peace out.